Hello, my dear affluent and elegant people of the world watching the Fashion Bunker. We're talking Hermes. Oh, it's been a while, hasn't it? Yes, we're talking Hermes today. We're talking patriarchy. We're talking Birkins. We're talking a mess. Why are the Birkins a mess? We're gonna get to it, but first subscribe to my channel here on the tubes. Push the join button next to the subscription button. Become a member today. Gain access to extra perks. You can also join me on Patreon. Super Dacob all spelled together there as well for extra perks. Thank you to all my members and patrons who have already pledged. This video is being filmed live in front of a live virtual audience. You're all invited to partake in the live streams every Saturday on my channel and in the live chats as well. Today I have a special guest star appearing for the first time in the Fashion Bunker within our Fashion Bunker screen to share her experience with us. The journey, the Birkin journey, the Hermes journey, the quality journey. Quality? Are we sure? Well, Therealshakeen, my dear. Why don't you come in and join us? Let's talk about... Hello, this is Jasleen, you guys, aka Therealshakeen. Wonderful YouTube channel. By the way, I shall be posting the link to Therealshakeen in the description box down below. Be sure to subscribe to her channel. Send her some love. Hello, Jasleen. How's it going, sweetie?
Hey!
Welcome.
Hello, everyone.
Hi, sweetie. So you guys, Jasleen and I have been online friends for quite a while now. You know, we're behind the scenes talking to each other like little tiny gerbils. Sending each other pictures of like, what about this bag? Did you see the bag? Oh my God, I tried this.
Or rather like this.
Yeah, like that.
And then we resort to voice notes because your fingers get tired.
I said to Jasleen the other day, I'm like, girl, I'm sorry, I can't type anymore. My apologies for sending you voice clips, but girl.
You know, I like voice notes more personalized. Like sometimes, I work with my hands a lot, so sometimes like my fingers are tired, and it's faster to just type. It's faster to just do a voice note, and I feel like it's just a little bit more personal, and it takes like little effort. So I think we should just all voice note each other on Instagram.
I love it. I personally really, really, really love it. With all my friends, I always voicemail a voice clip or whatever you want to call it. Emizi says, "Hey Shakeen, I love your jacket. It's fabulous."
Thank you. I have it filmed. I'll reveal it in an unboxing at some point. I have a lot of backlog footage.
Oh my God, the backlog. Well, this is, by the way, Spring Summer 2022 Chanel. Wonderful piece. Yeah, living for it.
It's the perfect weather today. It's not like super hot. It's not super cold. So a little jacket has been great. So I took advantage of, throwing this. Then I got hot. Like, so I had to take a minute.
It's a mess. I don't know if you watched me filming that other segment now. 2 segments ago, I think you were still not there. The issue that I had with the jacket that I wanted to buy from Chanel.
Yes. I was listening to it.
Okay.
Yeah, that's really weird. I mean, I don't know. I was thinking, like, was it like a one-off piece, like, or is it like...
it's a flaw with their knitwear. It's a mess.
Yeah,
but anyway,
you were saying all the sizes were like that. So.
But listen, a little tiny bunny rabbit told me, well, actually you, that your Hermes journey has come to an end.
Yes.
I saw your unboxing. You told me about you guys, Jasleen got a Birkin.
Yeah.
How many years did it take?
Not very long. Well, I mean, when I started shopping with the brand, I wasn't really in the market to get a Birkin at that time, because I guess it just seemed like it was out of reach, like I just didn't even bother asking, to be honest. And, I was more focused on Chanel classic flaps, right? And I guess I'm glad, like I was smart to do that, because look at the price of them now.
Yep.
So that was where I was more focused. So I wasn't even, into getting a handbag, to be honest. Like I knew they were very coveted, Sex in the City and all that, but I just didn't think like that I would own one, right? So if you're not planning to buy one, then why would you go looking? That sort of thing. I bought like some things here and there, but like, when we travel to like Europe or we're in the States, like usually like I would shop when I was on vacation, because what else am I going to do? right? And you know, in my local boutique, like I mean, it's only really been I think about 3 years where I've like consistently bought stuff, and I mean I don't go crazy, but like I buy some pretty nice things, like whatever I like I'm not stuff that people typically will buy at the beginning, but like I've bought like ready to wear and shoes and stuff like that, and I've revealed some things I've filmed and unboxed and was supposed to reveal, and then you know there was an issue with one of my pieces, so I don't have it anymore. But it's interesting because I didn't get this offer, my husband did.
Well, first, do you want to disclose like which country or continent you
Well, I'm
are
in
based?
Canada, right?
You're in Canada.
Yeah, I'm in
So
Canada.
we're talking Hermes Canada
Yeah,
standards.
yeah,
Okay. And you've been buying in the Hermes Canada boutique for
yeah,
several years.
yeah.
But have you ever asked? No?
Well, like I would say 3 years. Like
Th-
nothing, you know. It's not
Three
like
years.
I've been shopping for like 20 years, like right? 3 years.
Right.
Yeah,
But in
yeah.
these 3 years, have you ever, but were you always buying with the same sales associate?
So this is interesting because I've gone through like 4 sales associates,
Oh,
and you know, yeah, like I'd shop, like I'd all wonderful, right? But they would leave the company, like they would leave, and I mean, I don't blame them. Of course, like they have a right to like move on and do what they want. Like they're not there for me, right? Like they're obviously making changes in there. But I was surprised at the turnover. So I haven't had like a consistent relationship, so called, with a sales associate. But I mean, I've heard it doesn't really matter because it's your relationship with the boutique, right? Like if you're consistently shopping in that one boutique, then it should be okay. But it does make it a little bit hard for sure. And then I do have a sales associate now. But again, like communication is they've stopped apparently with the text messages. Like they don't have phones. I don't know if that's true for everybody, but like it's easy.
really?
Yeah, I've heard it's something to do with like the monitoring the communications or something like that. But at the same time, I can imagine like people getting pestered over a text. Like if I get a few too many notifications, it makes me a little stressed, right? I can't imagine what they must be going through. So, it might be nice to like kind of sit down at the end of the day and, get on the laptop and then like answer all emails. But then sometimes you do need to communicate with somebody real time, right? Or, in a short period of time. And then you don't have time to like wait around for like a day or two to hear back. So yeah, it hasn't been a consistent sales associate. And yeah, people, I don't know why there was so much change and turnover. That's a mystery to me. So I have no idea.
It kind of brings back memories of Person Fleek.
Yeah, I guess. But I mean, like,
Because, her sales associates would leave and
yeah,
da, da, da.
yeah, and they're all lovely people. Like, they're just very nice people. But like, I mean, they people get other.
They just don't give a Birkin. They just don't give a.
They don't. They don't. The
They
the
don't.
last one that I had before I had one, it was very promising. Like she actually brought up, oh, like, do you want to start a wish list? Because I remember I
Yeah.
was I was looking for a belt and I wanted like a maroon color that is not so harsh. Like a black can be kind of harsh, but if you have like a maroon or wine color, I was like, oh, do you have like rougeage? Like I'd like to have rougeage, and then like another neutral color on the other side. That was missing.
Rougeage?
Yeah, it's like a
It sounds like a character from Les Miserables, like Gavroche. Do you have Gavroche? Yeah, oh, yeah. He's in the revolution. He'll be back.
well, she's like, oh, she's been mentioning rougeage, like, very like a lot, right? Is that a color
Yeah.
you'd want in a bag? And I was kind of thrown off. I was like,
Oh.
oh no, I don't want that in a bag. I want black.
She's like, no. Listen, girl, it's gonna be my first Birkin. I
Yeah.
want it to be the classic.
And then I remember my husband came in with me one time. They had like fragrances, like they had fragrance sets. And she had told me about this, and the pricing was quite reasonable. And you can do a bulk order of like 10, or like you do it in tens. And I'm like, this would be
Yes,
nice.
actually, they started with 4. You could do 4.
Yeah.
4, 8, 12. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you could do like a corporate order. And I was like, this would be nice to give as gifts. Like sometimes it's nice to get stuff that is below $100, but is still luxe, and you have them on hand to give as gifts. So I told my husband, like, this would be nice. And he's like, oh, great. Like, we'll buy it. And I went in and she was talking to him. She's like, oh, okay. And then she was saying something about, she was asking him what he would like for me. And so the conversation was quite obvious. And my birthday was coming around. I'm a November baby. And this is before November. And she really like was explicit, like, don't worry, I'm sure we'll have something by your birthday. And then she left the company.
She's like, I got you. Keep spending, but I'm not gonna tell you that I'm leaving, because she was already planning to leave.
But she did communicate with me in a different mode of communication, and she told me that she got a really good opportunity elsewhere. So I was really happy for her in that regard. So, people move on because they might be getting better benefits, more pay, where they're working, it might be closer to where they live. So, perhaps she heard back. And so, I don't blame people for leaving. People have to move on and do their thing. At the end of the day, it's like making money and it's your quality of life, right? They're not there specifically to serve me as a client, right? So, but then it was funny because during the pandemic, like you had to make appointments to go in, right? So they weren't taking walk-ins, I think, until late 2021, something like that, if I'm not mistaken. So you kind of had to have a contact for a sales associate. So I emailed the boutique, and I was like, and one of my friends actually told me, she's like, please tell the manager, like, you've been through like 3 or 4 sales associates, and like to please link you to somebody who's a bit more permanent there, that who has been there for a while. So I did email, and they did link me to a sales associate that's in there for a while. But still nothing from that sales associate for me. So.
Yeah.
But I'm not in a rush. Like, honestly, like, Dacob, I have such a great collection. I enjoy a lot of the pieces that I have, and I've said this before. If any of you have, tuned in, like, I did go to Paris in November, birthday for a couple of days, and it was nice because I do like to visit that city, and so does my husband, and it was nice to be able to travel there again after like 2 years. So I did try for the appointments this time, and I explained that whole story of what happened, because I did get an appointment, which was totally, because it seemed impossible for a lot, like what I've heard. And it's a miracle that I got an appointment. So the stars were aligned. It was my birthday. I was there with my husband, but I still didn't get a bag, right?
So you got an appointment at Hermes in Paris, the Faubourg Saint-Honoré, or
yes,
which?
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
And then they said no. You got an appointment, but sorry, we don't have a bag for you.
Yeah, I mean, but the guy that served us, he seemed pretty genuine, like, and he gave reasoning for it. He's like, listen, like, at the end of the week, you are the last appointment of the week, and we just don't have bags left over. Like, if this was like a Tuesday or a Wednesday even, we probably would have had more stock. So it seemed as though he really wanted to help us out. Like, you can read people, like, they are really genuine and they want to do something for you. And there wasn't anything, but I wasn't down about it. Like, and what I said in the video is really because it was smack middle of the day of our last day there. So, when you have something in the middle of the day, like, you can't really make plans, because everything kind of circulates around that one appointment, right? Like,
yeah, I know, terrible.
Yeah, and it's our last day there. Like, I wanted to do a lot of other things. Like, I wanted to take more photos. I wanted to like eat like certain desserts, right? And I didn't get to do that. And I felt it was kind of like a waste of my time. But my husband was very down. He was actually like really upset. Not like angry upset, but you could just tell he just turned into a sad puppy, because it's funny, because when we went to this appointment, I was at Chanel, and I was just picking up a few other things that I had set aside, and I was going to meet my husband at the appointment. My husband wanted to sleep in, right? Like, he likes his naps. He likes to take it easy when we're away on vacation, and he's like, I'll meet you at the appointment. He was very excited about this appointment, right?
Aww.
Yeah. And so he got there before I did. And he wasn't wearing his Birkenstocks. He was, if any of you know, he loves his Birkenstocks. And he was wearing, like, he was dressed nicely, like, you know, and he got there before I did. And I met him inside. He had already checked in. But the thing is, it was my appointment, right? So I'm supposed to be the one checking in the appointment, but they checked him in. And I was like, okay. And I went to the bathroom, and whoever was going to come and get us, the sales associate, took him upstairs, and he already talked to him. And I'm like, but are they supposed to talk to me because it's my appointment? Like, it's my passport, right? Like, they were supposed to be. So, yeah, I thought that was really weird. But again,
Yeah.
it didn't amount to anything. But he was.
Well, but hold on. Big important moment here.
Yeah.
This is one of the points we're going to talk about today, you guys. The patriarchy in Hermes. What Jocelyn noticed is that they do treat men differently. Like, kind of, even though she, the woman, made the appointment, it was on her passport, on her name, they treated him better. Like, he was they're like, oh, okay, he's the man.
Yeah.
We let him in. We take him upstairs. The little lady, she's gonna go to the powder room, but let's let the man do the business.
Yeah.
And
I was so nervous.
This is something that you. But it didn't just end there in Paris, because when you now finally ended up with a Birkin.
Yeah.
And even though you were the client that kept in Canada since 3 years, purchasing Hermes products in that boutique, your name is in the registry, your address is there, you are their registered client, he isn't. Still, who got offered the bag?
He did, and
Not
he is
you.
so happy.
And this is again patriarchy,
like
even
he
in
won
Canada.
like a battle or something.
Well, yeah, I mean, it was personal at a certain point for him. But interesting how Hermes. So how did it happen in Canada that they offered him, and when did it exactly? How long ago did it happen?
You know, not too long ago. Like, our anniversary is in June, so he, you know, again, another milestone. And he, you know, I guess, like, and he didn't go in with like specific specs, right? Like, he just, I really want to get my wife a bag, right? And he first got offered actually a mini Constance, and he didn't know what that bag was, right? He's like, he doesn't know. I showed him a picture of what that looks like. I'm like, yeah, no, I don't. I mean, it's not a style that I want. I know it's very coveted. It's being resold for crazy amounts of money, but I'm like, I don't want a mini Constance, right? And he's like, yeah, I don't like it. And then he, you know, I guess he went back and he's like, I want like a Birkin or a Kelly. But actually, I think he was very specific on the Birkin. Like, that's the bag. Like, I don't think he really cares for the Kelly. So yeah, and asked for that. And no specific like specs. Like, he wouldn't know leathers. He doesn't know specific colors. He doesn't. I mean, he knows hardware like gold or silver, but it's palladium. Size, he knows 30. Because I remember we were traveling in Cannes a couple of years before, and we went to the Cannes boutique, and they actually showed us. They had demo models, and they showed us leather swatches and demo models. So I got to try on and handle, you know, some demo pieces, like a 25 and a 30. So I knew at that point that a 25 is too small for me. Can't get my arm through those handles. So, so he knew like a 30 would be good. But I mean, I think they cater to men, but also the fact that he probably didn't give a specific color. That could be one of the reasons why. And he was open to a pop of color. So we got that pop of color. Yeah.
And do you want to show us that pop of color?
Yes, I will. And I don't know who I'm turning into. I don't know who I'm turning into, but I'm turning into pink. So much.
Oh, there's
pink.
a Twilly and a Twilly.
And a Twilly, because I'm not a Twilly person either. But who am I turning into?
Oh my gosh! You know what? But look at that, matches the jacket.
It does. It does. It does.
So what color is this? Another Gavroche Les Miserables? moment.
This is called Mauve Sylvester. It's not a
Why
very
Sylvester?
yeah.
Is
So
there
it's
a
like
reason?
it's a cool toned pink.
It's like a lilac to me.
Yeah, it has a bit of a lilac to it.
I love it. Lavender lilac-y color. It's a beautiful color.
Yeah.
And
But
it's a size 30.
yeah.
And what's the leather?
This is Epsom.
Oh, Epsom. And
So Epsom is supposedly
so
cheaper. I didn't know that.
and he got offered this color and he said, "Oh yeah,
Mhm.
I'll take it. Love it. Live in Farrell."
I'm sure if they brought him like a taupe or like a taupe color, he wouldn't have took it.
Oh, okay. He wanted a pinky color.
He would
for
want
you.
if this was bright orange, bright green, yellow, some crazy color, he's all over it. But if it was like a gray,
He'll be like, "No."
he'll be like, no. Yeah. So
And and again, this patriarchy, right? You're like buying there for 3 years, nothing, and he just goes in and say, "Hey, my wife and I, we got ourselves a little anniversary, and I want a little something, something."
they
And we're
did
like,
they
"Okay."
did show him some jewelry at first.
Ah, they
Yeah.
tried.
They did. They did. And I think one of them, like the sizing, like they just didn't have like the right size of like he was looking. He's like, yeah, I like that. That's nice, but but no, he didn't buy it. But yeah. So yeah.
But now we get to the next part, you guys. Now that Jasleen has the Birkin, and we were talking about this the other day, and she's like, "Look, I got the Birkin." And I was like, "Oh, your journey is finally over," because I know
It's
both of us
concluded.
were talking since many months now about the fact that we're not really into Hermes that much. I mean, listen, as bag collectors and lovers of these brands and their heritage, sure, you gotta have you gotta itch that scratch. You gotta scratch that itch, actually, the other way around. Like you know, you have listen, bag collection, luxury bag collect, you have your Birkin, moving on. Because both of us prefer Chanel. I mean, you know what I
It's
mean.
a brand that gives you butterflies for sure. You get
Yeah.
excited about the ready to wear. I mean, I haven't been buying ready to wear all my life, guys. Like I started with bags and then added in shoes and accessories and then when the sales the sales drew me into the ready to wear. And then I started to buy some ready to wear at regular price. That was my journey through Chanel.
Yeah. No,
You know,
definitely. Everybody's Chanel journey ends with buying ready to. Isn't that
yeah.
fascinating? They convince you because I mean, anyway. But
Because what else are you gonna buy, right? Like there, you can buy bags, and then there's only so many bags that you could keep buying. Then you move on to other parts of the house. But that just shows that you like the brand, and then you like the different facets of the brand, right?
oh, totally, totally. The
Yeah.
same for me as well. But well, this is the thing now. So you I was talking to Justine. I said, well, you can tick that off the list. I mean, you have the Birkin. It's like
It's
a
done.
big staple in a collection. And then now you're like, oh, okay, fine. You've scratched the itch. We can move on. And you also said, yes, definitely. You're not like there thinking already, what's the next Birkin I'm going to try to hunt down?
Well, you
Or,
can't really do that because
no, I know, but like you're not sitting there like still kind of obsessing. You just got
yeah,
this one and you're like, okay, do I want a Kelly next? Like, what
yeah.
color? It's like you're fine. And I get it.
And
And
it's
I was
it's the
actually,
black or darker color that I originally wanted for on my wish list. If that comes
mm,
through, then
you would
great.
be
But
like,
I'm not I'm not obsessing or rushing over it.
yeah,
And this could be like my spring summer Birkin, and then I can have a black one for the
fall
fall
winter
winter.
Birkin. Okay,
But
so
then
you're not
beyond
over
that,
with your journey.
I don't really see for having
Yeah.
many.
And
You
I
know.
was I was telling Justine, like, if I were, for me it's I forgot again the name, Blue Jasmine or Black, Kate Blanchett in Woody Allen's movie, the
Yeah.
35 Birkin, and that kind of I like them when they're used and beat up a little
Yeah.
bit.
Exactly.
Kate Moss with her beat up Kelly, to die for.
Yeah,
But
if there was like a
or
huge one, like I know there's the hack, right?
hmm,
I don't even know if there's like a 40 or something. Then like I
yes,
would
there is a
yeah,
40.
I would want like
There
an
is.
oversized
Yes.
one to just like tote it on top of my carry-on and
Yeah,
travel
and then
with.
there's a huge one that Pharrell Williams wore in Madonna's video Give
Oh
It to
yeah.
Me.
Yeah.
the huge crocodile thing that she was
Oh,
like, oh
yeah.
my God, I love that you have it. Put it in the video so the video looks better. I'm like, oh
Yeah.
God. Well, first of all, putting Pharrell in that video ruined the video. But that's a whole other can of worms. But so the second option that I would do is again used, because I love these things used and beat up so I don't have to baby them,
Yeah.
would be Gwyneth Paltrow's The Royal Tenenbaums um 35 Birkin, also in kind of a beigey hue, but like beat up. That's kind of it. If I were to in any way even have an itch, that's what I would scratch and then I would be done. But you guys, here we go to the really juicy part of the video. And this is where I asked Justine, because we were talking and she's like, you know what, Dacob? Yeah, I've scratched that itch. But let me tell you something. This bag, it's like, why is everybody saying that Hermes quality is so good? Because and now tell us
Oprah.
what.
I don't know if you've seen this segment when they go to Italy and it's like her friend or her relative and her daughter are there, and they're looking. The daughter really wants this like bag from Louis Vuitton, and it's in like the display or something like that. And then, have you seen that clip? Has anybody seen that clip? And she's talking about how like they go through this whole like, you know, kerfuffle of trying to get this bag and sell it to her, and then finally they gave in because they found out he's Oprah. Do you
Yeah,
remember
of course
that?
I know.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then at the end, like the punchline where they finally get the bag out, and then the niece or the friend's daughter is like, eh.
Yeah. I mean, but that's the thing. And you guys, this is a huge scoop because you're going to have, and we were talking, Justine and I were like, is it because like all of these other luxury YouTubers, they're like, oh my God, look at this unboxing a Birkin. This is amazing. Quality superior, all handmade. And I'm also every time, first of all, to me, it's just a very simple bag, really.
Yeah.
Right? And I mean, it's a status symbol for sure. It can be super practical if you're traveling, I guess. But me and glazing, ugh, I can't. But
Yeah.
you then had it in hand, and then
Yeah.
you started telling me like, eh.
Like it's nice. I'm not saying it's bad. I mean, I love it. I love.
Right. But the
Don't get me
quality
wrong,
you said
I love it. But I don't see it being. Now this might burn like a lot of MS fans might be a little bit offended, but I don't see it as being like any different from the quality of the stuff that I already have, and I mean, I had somebody comment on my video because I posted the unboxing video of this and I mentioned this point. And somebody commented and said, well, these are all handmade start to finish, and that's the difference. And, hopefully you'll appreciate the differences. And I get that. Like, I expect fully handmade things because that's somebody's labor going in, right? Like, and you're crafting something by hand. And then you can appreciate it. But, I mean, we live in a modern world, right, where we've automated many things. And we have enhanced technology and all that. So just because something is made with machine versus hand, at the end of the day, you're looking at the product and how it makes you feel and what you like about it, and you like the color, and it's, again, the feeling that you get towards it. So yes, there's many hours put into this, and I highly respect that. I mean, because that's somebody's labor that's going into it, and I respect that. But to say that it is better in quality than something else, and also the thing, Dacob, you got to realize is, how can you compare quality of bags when you only really see one? At Chanel, at least, at some points in the collection, if you want to look at a bag, you can look at multiple and compare. And in this case, like, you have one that's really hard to assess quality or differences in quality if you're only looking at one and not comparing it to another bag, right? Like, of the same
Right,
line.
but you do have a sales associate that told you something. Oh no, you froze.
I freeze.
Wait, yeah, you're
That's a very
back again.
unflattering.
Oh yeah, freezing is no, you're back. You're back.
Okay.
So your sales associate told you. Where
Yeah.
was it in the Las Vegas? No, which?
So when I went, I was on vacation for Not long enough.
You guys, this is a scoop now. Listen carefully. I'm just
Okay.
announcing it. It's happening. Okay, say it.
So one of the sales associates that I spoke to, because I had nothing better to do, right? Like, but I like to window shop and stuff, and I was speaking to them, and they were saying uh, that some of the bags that were coming in of Togo leather um, are not how they should be. And I don't know if they were referring to the veining or the grain or something like that. And in fact, that they were actually discouraging some of their own clients from taking these bags because they are not of the quality that they should be. And they're talking about the leather right now, and they were surprised because they apparently, like, Hermes has first dibs on the leathers, the hides at the tanneries, right? So definitely that there's something off with the leathers. So then no, or is not told because they have nothing to reference to unless they've handled a lot of these bags, which very few people do. They wouldn't know. They wouldn't know this, right? They would just be like, "Oh my gosh, I got a Birkin," and that's
But
it.
that's really nice that the sales associates actually are honest and say to their
Oh
clients,
yeah,
because at Chanel they would be like, oh, there's 2 stitches missing. That's okay. Get it anyway, honey.
yeah, yeah. And and the thing is you got to accept, like, not everything can be perfect, and it's okay. It's okay if there are flaws, as long as the brand or the boutique rectifies it, right? And they repair it, and or they come up with a solution for you. I give you a full refund, or they repair it for you, or they replace it with something else. That's okay because that happens, right? But for people to come on and claim that there's nothing that could ever be wrong with their
Mm.
products, then that's not realistic, right? Like, that's not realistic.
No, it's not realistic.
No,
Definitely not.
no.
Leanne is asking you, which Vegas boutique did you go to? Do you want to say?
I probably shouldn't because,
Okay.
yeah, I probably shouldn't. Not because I don't want to share, but I don't want to,
Get anybody in
no,
trouble.
right? But
Okay.
there
Yeah,
are
yeah, no,
there
I
are
get it.
three
Totally fine.
boutiques there, so
Oh, there are. Okay, yeah. No, no worries.
yeah.
Um, Debbie says there's only so many cows out there. At a certain point, like the leather, if you overproduce. And listen, just because Hermes doesn't make it easy for you to buy a Kelly and a Birkin in terms of not offering it to you, doesn't mean that they don't overproduce. Because they're always available. They just don't want to sell it to everybody. So I have a sneaky suspicion that they're still, you're like, oh yeah, sure, they get first dibs on the leather hides and they get the best leather hides. And I've heard this story 1,000 times. And of the 100 leather hides that they get, they only take like 15 that are good enough. And the rest is like given then, to
Hmm.
Chanel and Louis and the others, or not, because Chanel now claims that they have their own tanneries.
Yeah,
Okay, fine, you have your own tannery, but the tannery doesn't have its own cows. It still has to get delivered.
yeah,
So, however, at a certain point, you're like, yeah, you know what? We can't make it anymore with just the 15 hides chosen. Maybe we got to expand to 20. And, the 15 are still top, and then the other 5 are a little bit less. Maybe that's also part.
yeah. and
That's
and
why maybe the Togo leather was not the best.
yeah.
Maybe it looks a bit more dry because of that. I don't know.
Yeah, and
What do
if
you
you
think?
have somebody who's honest enough, like, that's the thing. Like, I
Mm,
really appreciated that they told me this,
yeah.
because some SAs may not know better, or they haven't been with the company long enough to see these products in the flesh all the time to know and be able to assess the difference. Some may not care. Some clients may
Oh,
care,
for sure.
right? They're just like, we
For
want the
sure.
bag.
Some people are just there for the money.
Yeah.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
some clients may not care, and they just want the bag, and that's it. Like, they just want that. They don't care about it. But then there are some people who have never handled these bags before, have not seen these, in the flesh, and they wouldn't know any better. And they'll purchase something like this, and it is what is it. But what the chatters had mentioned, like, there's only so many cows, and I think, Dacob, you had mentioned this about the animals, right? Like, you really have to baby them and take care of them, make sure there's no blemishes, and etc. That's very interesting. We don't think about the start. These are natural materials. They're hides. Like, they can't be the exact same animal to animal, right? There's going to
No,
be
they cannot be
variance.
the same. And if you're
Yeah.
gonna have that high quality hide, like you need pastures, you need space for these
Yeah.
animals to roam so that they don't get nervous, they don't hit each other, that they don't attack each other, territory, blah blah blah. There's a lot to consider, and but the demand is so big that like, how are you gonna do it? Yeah, you can't. You're gonna have to cut corners somewhere, and they have been cutting corners. Now, Milica is asking, Milica is one person, but anyway, she's like, we would like to hear more about the patriarchy in this
Well,
case.
it's always been rumored.
Milica is using a pluralis majestatis, ladies and
and
gentlemen.
it's always
Okay.
surprised me because I've always heard about this, right? And that's why my husband was quite, down in Paris, because like, but I was with you. I'm your husband. I talked to the guy. We shook the bag, right? But I think there is, and I've heard this from other people, that men tend to get offers more than women. And I find it a little bit problematic, of course. I mean, I'm married. But the thing is, what if there's a woman out there who's making her own money and she's working really hard and hustling, and she might not get the offer because she doesn't have a man with her? That's concerning to me. I don't know if that's completely true, because again, it might depend on the city you're in, or what it is, or it might be the time that you're buying, right? Because you can't really strategize this. This is what I've found. Because anytime somebody tells their story, right, of their journey, and publicizes it and chats with people, and then it gets all out, in purse forums and all that stuff about these strategies, and people get wind of this, they try to pull the same strategy, but
Yeah.
Hermes is already on it, right? They're already like, no, we're not doing this anymore. We're keeping you on your toes. That's not going to work, right? So
Yeah, they are.
Same thing happens like with like the Paris would get an appointment, right? That doesn't, like, that's why I did that video, because I'm like, that it's not guaranteed to work, guys. If you buy such and such items, like that's not going to, it might work for a short period of time, but then when everybody starts doing it, then they're like, no. Just because you're buying all these things doesn't mean you're going to get a bag, right? So it could be that this whole patriarchy thing is just temporary. I don't know, but I've heard that men are catered to a little bit more. I don't know why that is, but maybe because there's an assumption that men will pay for it, or I don't know. It surprised me too. I mean, like, and it surprised my husband for sure.
But what are they thinking? That men are less resellers than women? I mean,
I
because if
would
they're
think
trying
the
to also.
opposite. I would think the opposite.
Yeah, me too.
Like, why would it? I mean, again, like, yeah, I would think the opposite. I think women are feistier to be resellers than men.
Hi,
generally
Mel.
speaking.
Hi, Mel. Little person on fleek mode. Hey, Mel.
Oh, poor Mel.
Oh, I love her. So anyway, whatever. It is what it is. What a moment, though.
Yeah,
You're too kind, Jasleen. You're too worried what people think. Just go for it, girl.
No, but I mean, like, I wasn't familiar with her videos to begin with. Like, I never used to watch her channel, so I had no idea who she was until someone sent me her video.
Oh yeah, me too.
Yeah,
me too.
I had
me
no
too.
idea.
I had no clue.
So I had no
I had
idea
no
about like
clue.
the eBay page and whatnot, and
nothing, no clue about her. And then people started writing me,
yeah,
in the DMs and under my videos, like, oh my God, Dacob, did you see the Goodbye Hermes video? Like, we want to know what your thought. And I was like, and I was really late to the game, because by the time I finally caved in, because my people were asking me, like, please do a reaction video. It was like 1 month after Mel posted her video. So it was like 1 month after already 50 other luxury YouTubers made their commentary video on her good. So I was like, okay, fine, I'll do it I'll take one for the team. I had no clue that my video would be such a good one as well.
But it was a good one. It was a really good one, because
thank you.
You it's like you spoke to her like she was your sister. Right? Like,
I really can't, but this is the thing that a lot of people don't. Thank you for saying this, because a lot of people come from, he's like, oh my God, you're such a monster. Like, trying to like scavenge off of other people. Like, well, hold on a minute. My viewers are asking me for my opinion, and I've been avoiding this subject for such a long time. And after 1 month, I'm like, okay, fine, I'll do it, because you guys are asking all the time. But I always said from the get-go, if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it because I care, not because it's clout.
Yeah.
And I was really addressing Mel like she was my sister. That's exactly. Thank you so much for noticing this.
But the thing is what you need to keep in mind is, and this is why I didn't want to sink too much into that game and get so caught up in it.
Yeah.
One thing is, like, again, like I said, I have a beautiful collection, and I'm so happy that I have these. I'm very thankful that I have these beautiful items, and I enjoy them. But the marketing and the game can really mess with you mentally, and I can see how you can go down that rabbit hole, especially when you're spending a lot of money, and there could be a little bit of a keeping up with the Joneses, but that the very act of giving you a quota bag, it kind of makes you feel like you're the chosen one and that you're good enough, right? So it's
Marketing.
it's validating people. And we might not think that we're affected by this, but I tell you, I mean, I'm pretty sure, like, if I went deep into it, I would be affected by it, right?
Oh, for sure.
Of being validated,
sure.
being validated. I'm the chosen one, that, I'm valued, and I'm worthy of such a thing. And these luxury goods are not immune to classism, of course, right? Like, you're given, like, this top tier handbag world, and it puts you in a certain so-called class, of course, in the eyes of other people who believe in this, right? So I can see how it can make people feel inadequate, that they're not getting a handbag, and it can really mess with you emotionally. So the thing is guys, like, this is marketing. Like, don't let it get to you, please don't. And it's very hard to say that, because I can see how people can get really frustrated by spending a lot of money. There are countries where the spend ratio is really high, and people are spending, like, a lot of money and still not getting a handbag. So I can see how you can get through that, get down.
It's
that
interesting how the chat is still completely on the patriarchy moment. Somebody says, unfortunately, usually wealthy women's money is overwhelmingly husbands or fathers, not hers. Debbie says, Alex, I respectfully disagree. Emiz is already planning on how to get a bag. I'm going to send my dad to buy it. Sylvie says, I found through your Purse on Fleek response. Sylvie found me through the Purse on Fleek response video. Yeah, that video did quite well. Audrey says, this is such an interesting topic. Lots to think about. Jesus says, Alex, Jesus also disagrees. Andrea says, not sure. It's the lack of wealthy women. It's partially French chauvinism, and partially that their marketing strategy doesn't work for a one-time customer looking to buy a gift. And Leanne says, I agree. It's outdated traditional values. They don't think a woman should have to buy her own bag. And then Audrey says, I also disagree with Alex. Like, that's a very medieval way of thinking about, the rich woman comes from a rich man. So they're not talking about you. They're talking about general, you know what I mean? They're talking about the concept of why they're analyzing the idea. Why would Hermes be so patriarchy driven? And that they're trying to understand in the chat, like, where could it be coming from? Julie says, it's what I always call predatory marketing. This last thing that you were talking about, Jocelyn. I mean, Unboxed Beauty says, I'm going to send my boyfriend with my credit card.
But you can't do that. You can't do that, because...
No, it has to be yours.
It has to be... So whoever it is offered to, it has to be their credit card.
Oh, yeah, but the same with Chanel. You can't just come in and buy with, they want your pass. I mean, if they know who you are, they know who you are. But otherwise, you can't just say, yeah, I've exceeded my limit. I'm gonna use my sister's name.
And that's that's the profile, right? But, like, let's say, if, like, we're married, but let's say my husband's offered a bag, I can't use my credit card, right?
Of course.
Even though it would be, like, his profile for the bag, and likewise, like, if I remember, I was again when we were buying the perfumes, right? Because we wanted to, he wanted to buy it, as gifts for, like, office staff and stuff, and
those are amazing, by the way.
He couldn't use his business credit card because it wasn't the same billing address as me, which was the profile, and I was buying those items. Yeah.
Jesus says, can you pay in cash? No, Jesus. In some countries, there's a limit. You can't. Okay, so you cannot. Depends on the country limit, but you can't go and pay cash more than 4K, 5K, depending which country you're at. Because otherwise, if it's a higher amount, you have to prove the provenience of the money. And this is done to avoid money laundering. Now, I'm just explaining because some people don't know, so we have to explain.
Yeah.
And,
but, that's the thing that they have to watch out as well. Like if they're getting, I know that Chanel in the office, where sometimes they'll take you to cash out, right? There is a sign there by the machine that if you're paying cash and it's over $10,000 Canadian, they have to report it to FinTrack, which is a government body that keeps track of the cash transactions. So they, as a business, they have to do their due diligence as well, right? So, but I know as they don't take cash at all. I don't think so. Not here.
Which is good, but unless they accept Bitcoin, in which case
or wire transfer.
Yeah, wire transfer, Bitcoin, Ethereum.
I don't think we're that advanced here yet.
Ryan says Birkin coin.
Birkin coin. Here, can I pay you with my Birkin?
Right? Rachel is asking if they accept Monopoly money.
That would be hilarious. We'd probably be like kicked out of there.
I know, my God.
Like, get lost.
No, but look, we drew little Birkins on them. They're so cute, the little money.
Yeah, but I mean, going back to quality, actually, because I filmed a video because I bought a really, really nice ready-to-wear piece. I was really excited about this piece.
From Hermes.
Yes. Yeah. Now, originally, when I saw it on the website, I didn't realize it was the fabric. I thought it was a t-shirt, and I'm like, this is a cool looking t-shirt. It probably won't be so much, right? So I asked to, I thought it would be like, like 700 or something like that. Like not like crazy, ridiculous expensive. Because with Hermes, like if you go through their ready to wear, yes, they have very expensive stuff, but they do have items that are cheaper than Chanel ready to wear, right?
Yeah, they do.
You can get like a nice like shirt, and you get a sweater as well, and you're wearing a piece of designer ready to wear as part of the house, and you're not spending like Chanel money, right? So and then she orders it in for me. This was so I had no idea. I like this shirt, like, do you guys have it in the boutique? And she ordered 2 sizes in.
This is why I always say, ask for the price first.
Yeah, I was not brave enough to ask for the price. Like I didn't know. I thought it would be cheap. Right? But it actually, when she told me what the price was over the phone, like she phoned me and said, your top is in. It's really nice, and this is how much it is. So I was like, oh, and I think it was like 3,500 Canadian, and then plus 13% tax. It adds up, right?
Wow.
So, yeah. So I was like, oh, okay.
You were like, Lou, let me swallow that. What did you say?
So I go, I make an appointment. I go to try it on, and it was actually a really cool looking top. I sent you a photo. I have some videos of me trying it on in the room somewhere in my phone because I was sending it to my friend. And it was really cool. It was look 40 from, I think, spring, summer 2022, I think. Yeah, because I got it this year, early this year. And it was a beautiful cotton blouse. It went below the hips. And it had these really long sleeves and like big cuffs and open split at the cuff. It had this like really nice like asymmetric black and white print that continued to the back, and it had this leather belt in the back that went through these grommets. Okay, so you know how you had that?
Yes, I remember.
Yeah,
you were telling me. Yeah,
really cool looking top, like so beautiful, like very wearable. It's styled with shorts on the runway, like leather shorts, and the leather shorts were like I think like $6,000. I was like, no, thank you.
Leather.
Yeah. But I was like, this would be nice with leggings, right? Like leather pants. Like it was really cool looking, very edgy looking, very different for, how, plain and safe Hermes can be with their accessories. It was very different.
But they can be really nice when they're really plain.
Exactly.
I honestly, Justine, I really, really like when Hermes does it, like the simple stuff in clothing, and I like that. I don't mind that at all.
Yeah. So I loved it. and I'm like, you know what, I really love this piece. And I thought about it. I'm like, well, if I'm spending this much on sale Chanel ready to wear, I think this should be okay. And it'll add to my profile, of course, right? So I really liked it. I was really excited to wear it in the spring, summer. So it come February, conference to go to in Las Vegas. And at that time, the weather in Vegas is kind of like the spring weather we have in Canada, right, where I live. And so I took it with me to wear there. And, you know, I take it out to steam it, and I realize the back, the grommet is loose from the fabric. So I look at it, I'm like, did I do that? And right, because I'm like, I haven't worn it yet. And so I took a photo, and I emailed it to my sales associate. I said, hey, listen, I was going to wear this, and I know that this has come loose. And then I was told, okay, we'll send it to Paris for repair. I'm like, all right. So when I came back to Canada, I went to the boutique to drop it off. And she said, yeah, like, you know, we're going to send it to Paris to be repaired. I'm like, but it seems like such a simple repair, right? Like, I mean, you know, I can do like odd alterations myself, right? Like, so I kind of know. And I'm like, well, you know, we do have tailors in the area that you guys, I don't know if they use, because the thing is with Hermes, they don't do alterations. I don't know if this is just a Canada thing, but they don't do alterations for their ready-to-wear. And I thought that was really weird.
That's weird.
Really weird. Right? Because you think you're spending, they would have an in-house seamstress. If any of you guys know, maybe in your country, maybe they do provide that service, but we don't have.
Yeah, let us know, chat.
Yeah.
Let us know, chat, if you've had any alterations done at Hermes for clothing that you bought at Hermes. Because, I mean, you would think like, oh, you love the pants, it's your size and the waist, but they're just a little bit too long. Can they shorten them? They don't do that.
They don't do that. I thought that was really weird. I'm like,
that is very weird.
That's like $10,000 for you don't provide alterations. Yeah. So I mean, I didn't want to take it to anywhere myself, because then if something happens to it, then they're gonna be like, well, you touch, not us. Right?
Yeah, warranty void.
Yeah. So I was like, okay. And she said, well, you know, and if they're not able to repair it, then you'll get a store credit. I'm thinking, I'm like, they should be able to repair it. Like, you know, I'm like, okay, fine, right? I really love the top. Then it gets sent to Paris. A couple of weeks later, I get an email from someone else in the boutique that Paris got back to them and they won't be able to repair it. They deemed it irreparable, and that I would be getting a store credit. And I'm like, okay, the store credit can't be used on other goods, apparently. So you put it towards a bag or
a Birkin.
Yeah. So I'm like, and I was like, well, do you have the top here? Because maybe I can take it somewhere to see, because I really liked that top. I really liked it.
Yeah.
And they said, no, it's in Paris. I was like, okay. So.
Wait, but how long did you have the top? Just a short while.
Yeah, not even a month. Not even a month.
Yeah, but then, like, if it's not even a month, there's a return policy. You can return something within a month.
No, sorry, not even a month. I think more than a month. More than a month. Okay. Yeah. All right. But here, if you return something, you get a store credit. You don't get full refund.
No, I get it.
Yeah.
But they don't have to torture you to send you through that. Well, we're going to send it to Paris. We're going to wait a couple of weeks for Paris to end. And you're like, you got my money this whole time. And you got my shirt. Yeah. And I didn't even get to wear the shirt. And it's obviously a mistake in production. And you make me wait. And then after all of that is said and done, I still don't got my money, and it wasn't my fault. And now you're giving me store credit, and instead of saying, here, choose.
Yeah, some of my friends actually said that it should have been a full refund in this case.
Yes.
But, you know, I'm not going to go and I don't want to go argue with them.
I mean, you got the Birkin already.
Yeah, I don't want to argue with them. I mean... But the thing is, and I mean, I could put up an argument, but I mean, I don't really have anything on my list. Like, if I go in, like, then maybe I'll see something, maybe I'll get something with that credit or something. But so far, I don't really have anything on my mind to get.
But be careful, because with Chanel, store credit expires after a year.
Yeah, apparently this doesn't expire. I don't think so. They keep it on.
Just be careful.
Yeah, I'll ask.
Could you imagine 1 year later, you're like, oh, I finally found something I like. They're like, oh no, honey. This expired yesterday.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll go buy some sandals or something. I don't know. I'll see. But the thing is, so apparently they had an issue with this particular top across the board with a lot of items. So I guess they recalled it. But then I found out from another sales associate while I was traveling, because they had a piece that was similar to the top, like similar print. It was like a jumpsuit. And I'm like, oh, I had the top to this, but unfortunately there was, this XYZ. I explained the story and they were like, they've been backlogged with a lot of repairs. So they probably were like,
Lazy.
didn't want to do it.
Yeah. They were like, you know what?
Yeah, we don't have time for this.
No, I don't have time for this. I don't have time for you.
But because I was surprised. I'm like, it doesn't seem like a big repair. Maybe I could do it myself, but then again, if I touch it, then again, void, right?
Yeah.
So I was kind of like, I was kind of bummed because I was really excited about that piece. It was a really nice top, but it was a cotton top. Like first I was contemplating just taking it back and then fixing it myself because I loved it that much. But then one of my friends was like, "Are you crazy?"
Not for that money.
She knocked some sense into me. She's like, "You're not taking the top back."
Yeah, so. but you're also very, very balanced and very kind. I know. So for you, I think your limit of losing patience is much, much higher than other people. Like, I think you can take much more before you really go like, stop.
Yeah. I think the thing is because at the end of the day, everybody's doing their job, right? Like, it's not anybody in particular. It's not their fault, right? Like, so just got to find a solution. And so, yeah, I would start crying there. I'll probably I'll have to go in.
Buy a blanket or something.
And
I mean, their blankets are kind of cute. They're a bit itchy.
So, you know what, actually, there was a blanket that I did purchase in Vegas. Yeah, and it's funny. Yeah, it's funny. It's really soft. Let me see. I have it handy. I can show it to you as well. But it was. I remember seeing this print on the website. It was in Gris Pearl, and it's not quite their Avalon blanket. I think it's a throw, so it's a little bit smaller than the Avalon apparently. And I remember seeing that print, and I really liked it because it would go really nicely with decor and stuff. And stupidly, I bought it there. I probably shouldn't have because it's bulky. So and I already overpacked for this trip. I'm like, well, I don't know why I bought it. And secondly, the price of these items is more expensive in the United States than it is in Canada currently. So I overpaid $200. So I was like, yeah. But it came in really handy on the airplane. I didn't find it itchy at all. It was quite warm. It's cashmere and wool, and it was really, really warm. So I was like, oh, this is nice because I was up in the air and we were flying to Hawaii, and ironically, up in the air, it's minus 96. No, not minus 90. I don't know what my Fahrenheit to Celsius is, but Celsius is minus 55 in the air, and I'm like, ooh, that's really cold. Celsius, yeah. Right? So it was freezing in the plane, so it came in really handy.
And I was just thinking about the store credit. You could definitely make them feel guilty. You're like, I'll accept this, but
yeah,
black Birkin, gold hardware. I'm not gonna use the store credit to buy it. I'll buy something else, bitch, but I want my Birkin black. You gotta make it good.
I asked not too long ago before I got this. I asked, and I'm like, oh, has there been any word on my wish list? And I was told I'm working on it. So I just took their word for it. I'm like, okay, I'm not in a rush. They're working on it.
But now they're gonna sign it. Okay, so wait, but your husband bought the Birkin.
Yeah. So
it's on his name.
It's on his name, but the thing is that I don't know. I might still have to wait. I don't know how it works because
no, but they did not connect the two.
No.
So you still have open,
right? They know that I have it, so I don't know.
They know he's your husband.
Let's see if it comes in 6 months first, right? Who says it's coming next month, right? Maybe it's gonna come in December or next year. Let's see, right?
Yeah,
we'll cross that bridge when we get there. But that would be interesting to know. I don't think so because I think they'll know that I have one. And
that meme, on TikTok. Do you ever do TikTok? You ever watch TikTok?
I do. I watch it. Of course
Okay,
I
so you know what that means. You're like, they're not gonna know. They're gonna know.
yeah,
They're
they're
never
never
gonna
gonna know.
know. They're gonna know. How
No,
are
they're
they
gonna
gonna
probably hunt
know?
me down and
They're
be
gonna
like,
know.
we're taking this back, thank you.
Oh my God, I'm living for this. We actually did that. They're not gonna know meme in connection
Yeah.
with a Birkin. Ah, living ferret. They're not gonna know. They're gonna
But
know.
the thing is like as I was saying, is like sometimes you see in videos, and I was discussing this with you, and people kind of regurgitate the same thing. Oh, this is like top quality, and then they'll like throw shade on other luxury brands, not just Chanel.
But a
They'll
lot, Chanel.
Yeah,
But
a
just
lot
saying,
on
a lot of it is Chanel. You know what? On my
yeah.
channel, I'm so sick and tired of it. It's always like every time something happens. I mean, I buy Chanel all the time, you guys. So and every time, and then when I have something good to say about something from Chanel, I'm gonna say it. If I have something to criticize them for, I will
Yeah.
criticize them for.
Yeah.
But every time I criticize them for something, then I have these comments. If there's a price increase coming, or if there's some flaw with something I bought and I had to bring it back, then there's these comments under my videos, people saying, you see, never again Chanel. I'm gonna go to Hermes. It's much better anyway. Blah blah. And these are usually people who come out of the woodwork and comment out of the blue, never commented before. And I'm like, these people never even bought Chanel, probably. They're like happy to kind of see something being damaged.
Well, it
Because
reminds me, what it reminds me of is, when you live in a city, or you live in like a part of a country, and then it's divided into like different boroughs and cities and
yeah,
areas. And
yeah,
one area always gets shat on, right? Like that it's
yeah,
a bad area.
yeah.
And then people who have never even been to that area will also like harp
Chime
on
in.
it, and create this around this area. We
Yeah.
have a number of those in where I live. And people who have never even visited would also be like, "Oh, that's such a bad area," and it's like, well, "Have you been? No."
Yes,
Right?
that's exactly the same
It's
thing.
the exact same thing.
But at the same time, I'm thinking to myself, well, hold on a minute. I mean, yeah, sure, I have my blonde moments, okay, but like, I'm fine with it. I have my issues with Chanel. I'm not gonna stop buying there because I still love the brand.
Yeah.
I mean, call me Kreskin, but I still love it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and then people that come like, yeah, but this is much better. This is like, well, good for you. Then
But then how do
keep
you
buying it.
know? That's the thing. Like, how do you know, first of all, price increases, right? Like, the pricing
Yeah.
is very elusive. Like, you don't know how much things cost, right? And that's why people who get these bags will share, they want to know details because there's no information out there.
No. Yeah.
Much. I mean, I didn't know some was cheaper or slightly cheaper than slightly cheap, not cheap, it's cheaper than
Cheap-ish,
cheap-ish, right? I didn't know that, right? And
yeah.
I think pricing even depends on color too, in hardware. So I don't know these things, and and it's very different. So how can you keep track of price increases unless you really know the inside out, right? And whereas like with Chanel prices, it's, well, now they've taken them off the website, but generally speaking, the information's out there, right? But even with like, quality, like how can you compare? I feel like if something does happen, it doesn't get publicized as much because perhaps there aren't as many consumers of these bags, and they're very limited, and not everybody is on social media, right?
Yeah, no, for Hermes, for Birkins, Kelly's, Constance, like the prices are not really known. Like,
Yeah.
Because other people know and tell you, share information, but it's not like with Chanel that you have more or less the prices on the website. But still, what you were saying before, I completely agree. Like this type of like people on social media being, snobbing, let's say Chanel because they're into Hermes, saying like it's superior.
Yeah.
Not necessarily.
No, I don't think so. I mean, and that's what I was chatting with some friends of mine who also got offers within the last month or so. And I was like, guys, is it just me? And they said it, and they agreed. They were just like, yeah, yes, there are duds in different houses. Like, with Chanel, yes, there's overproduction, and some things do go wrong. But they said it could also be because I actively avoid the duds, right? Like when I'm buying something, I'm comparing and I am inspecting it. I know what to feel for. I'm buying what feels good quality to me.
Yeah.
So it could be that as well. But you
Yeah.
can't really do that with Hermes, right? Because they'll even bring you one bag.
Yeah, it's the one. Take it or leave it, Busta.
Yeah.
It's yeah,
So
yeah,
you have
yeah.
nothing to compare it to, so you wouldn't know.
Well, I mean, similar with Chanel with really special pieces like the heart bag, for example.
Oh,
I
yes.
mean, it's the one. You take it or leave it, you know.
Dacob. You know, speaking of the heart bag, I thought this was really interesting. So
Wait, hold
apparently,
on. Spring,
yeah.
summer. Put on our glasses. Let's twin.
Oh,
Because we're talking about spring, summer 22. Hit it. Baby, yes. Oh, let's do a thumbnail moment. Hold on.
I can't see myself, so
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
should I do
Wait,
this?
wait. No, no, yeah, no, good, good, good. Yeah, okay. Mm-hmm. Yes. And then we should both look to one side, like this. Oh wait, no, my microphone is there.
So, yeah,
Okay.
which way am I going? I don't know. I'm in mirror
Mm-hmm.
mode.
Yeah, yeah, that's good. That's good. That's
Is it
good.
good?
Yeah, no, no, no. Come a little bit. Turn to me just a little bit, and stop. Okay, perfect. All right, now throw the shade about the hardback. No, no, we're good. We're good with the thumbnails. Throw the shade.
Well, it's not so much shade. I think the heart bag is, first of all, it's brought me a lot of positivity, right? I wasn't into the heart bag
Yeah.
when I saw it on the runway. I thought it was a bit childish, not quite my style. I didn't like the big oblong, like it just didn't, I didn't like the shape so much. But when I
Yeah.
started seeing the small ones on it,
The wallet on chain.
yeah,
I know.
I'm like, that's cute. I like the angle, I like the proportions. And so then
Yeah.
I asked because I was told it's literally impossible to get at this point. But I think because the stock was trickling in, like they weren't getting. I think pink. I think was the last color to show up in boutiques across the board. Because
Yes,
I
it was
know
the last one
people.
produced.
Yeah, because I know people were on the wait list. I mean, I don't think we had a wait list here because it was apparently a quota order, so they only ordered so many. So you couldn't pre-order. At least that's what I was told. But in the States, apparently there were pre-orders, and some people were still waiting on the pink. They were kind of like panicking because like, what if my order's canceled, right?
Yeah.
So I had no idea, but then all of a sudden I get a text message with the photo of the white clutch, right? The wallet chain. And I was like, I'll take it.
Yeah, you're like, yeah, sure, here.
And perhaps it didn't get picked up because it is white lambskin, right? And that's scary for a lot of people. So maybe that's why I lucked out on getting it. But everywhere I wear that, like I really enjoy wearing that bag, especially while I was on vacation, because everywhere I went, it attracted such positive, cuddly energy from anybody who didn't even know, like people who didn't even seemingly look like they liked these things or into these things.
Yeah, yeah.
Every time I'd walk by, people would be like, "Aw."
There's something organic about it.
Yeah.
Something very special about it, and they're not perfect. Each and every one.
They're not perfect.
Oh no! Oh, they're full of weird, wonky stitches. It's what a weird little
at the
bag.
top, you know where the heart goes like this?
Yeah, yeah.
So the cross stitching, like the diamond intersection of the stitching, doesn't center with that peak.
No, it doesn't.
It doesn't.
In fact, guess what? That's one of the good ways of seeing that it's authentic, because the fakes are gonna be perfect.
Yeah.
But it's not just that. The stitching in the back is a little bit like, I mean, but listen, there's something about it. Once you, it's very organic. It's like a manufacture process. They put 10 stitches per die. These are tiny little quilted diamonds. You don't need 10 stitches. It's insane. It's like they paid extra attention. The big heart bag has like 6 or 5 only.
Okay.
Our wallets on chain got like 9.5 to 10.
Oh, I'm gonna have to go count.
It's a huge amount of time went into doing that. They didn't need to. It's a tiny little bag, but
and the turn lock is smaller, right? Like it's just cute.
Everything is messed up.
It was perfect when I was in Vegas because in the back pocket, because it has a back, pocket, I put my hotel key card in there.
Yeah.
the front pocket, because I treat it as like a card holder on a chain. I don't need to put a card holder in there, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So the front pocket, I put my driver's license, because I need ID sometimes. I card it, apparently. Maybe they're just buttering me up, but sometimes I get carded, so I need my ID. And I put
Like, hey, girl.
I rub it into
Live it
my,
for.
like, I rub it in, and then can you say that louder? Can you ask me how old I am? So then I put like a credit card or another credit card in there. And then inside the body of the bag, I put my iPhone charger, lipstick, some gum, and cash. And it was good.
Yeah.
It was good. And when I would get stopped by people, that would be like, "Aw, like that is so cute," right? And they'll ask me like a story about the bag, and then I'll show them what fits inside, right? When I went to Hawaii, now Hawaii attracts a lot of luxury enthusiasts, right? From Asia, from mainland US. This is my first time going there. And, you know, people rave about being, for the stuff I like, there is no Hawaiian pricing. But there is like the 4% tax, I think. But then as a Canadian, it doesn't really work well. Like if I was going back to the same country, then okay, fine. But then I also have to go through customs, right? And then also currently Chanel Hermes is more expensive in the US than it is in Canada before tax. So, you know, you kind of have to see if it's worth it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I was only there for a few days, so limited. I didn't want to stand in line. There were a lot of people that were just shopping, going crazy. I think Louis Vuitton and Dior have their Hawaiian pricing, which is like 10 to 15% less. So I can understand why people go crazy. But a lot of the people there, when they'd see me, they were like, "Oh my God, where did you get that? Get that?" Like, no. Like they were very like shocked, like, where did you get that? And like even when I did go to the Chanel boutique, because I was there when the collection launched, and I took it off to try something on, and then people just kind of like gravitated. Like, oh, is that available?
Yeah, I know. Listen, the same happened to me. I mean, I didn't post the video yet of me unboxing the pink wallet on chain heart.
Okay, I watched that. Oh, it's so nice.
Oh, you watched it live? That you saw it live?
I saw it live.
Okay, because I didn't post it yet. Yeah, yeah. The sales is so. She's showing me. She said, "Do you want it?" In that moment, the store manager passes by and is like, "How do we still have that?" And my sales associate was on was it sick leave or was it holiday? I can't remember, one of the two.
Mm-hmm.
And then so that bag was a pre-order, so it was attached to her name. Nobody's allowed to sell it until she's back to work. She's like, "Oh, it's because I just came back to work now." She's like, "Oh, okay, because we have requests for it."
It was in her bin. It was in her bin, so nobody could touch it.
Nobody could touch it.
Brilliant.
I know. And she's like, "So do you want it?" Nobody touched it. It still had its original paper from the factory around the chain.
Yeah.
Like it was literally, I was the first person. I was like, "Oh my God."
Yeah.
And I had my Michael Myers t-shirt on. The heart fits so cool with Michael Myers. It was a moment.
That
it was a moment.
Is, I again, I don't know who I'm turning into because I'm loving a lot of pink, but I really love that.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, live in ferret.
Please don't get rid of it. Please don't.
No, I know. No, I won't.
Yeah.
Don't worry. I'm not a resale. I've never sold one Chanel piece in my life, except for one pair of sneakers like 20 years ago, because they were too small. They hurt me.
That's understandable.
I could not. I don't know what happened to them. When I tried them on in the store, they were perfectly fine.
I know.
And then I started wearing them, and then my feet started hurting a lot.
I hate when that happens.
But yeah, and that was the only reason, because I was like, it's such a pity because I'll never wear them, and I'm like, it was a symbolic gesture, actually. I didn't even sell them for retail, but I sell them way under. I was just like, hey, I just want somebody who would really love them to have them.
Yeah.
Because like I can't enjoy them.
Yeah.
They hurt me.
I have a pair as well. I have a pair of like pumps that are really nice, but they're a half size too small. And I remember trying a half size up and they were falling off my heel. And I'm like, oh no. And then I went down half a size, and all of a sudden when I wear them, like my feet are like ogre feet, don't fit. So
No, yeah, and it's like in that case, and it was also really, gosh, this was almost 20 years ago now. That's it. That's the only thing from Chanel I ever like let go.
yeah,
Yeah, in Vegas when
you have
I
to let go of things. It's okay. Like
no, yeah, I know,
then
but I
you can
still
let go of it to me.
the heart bag. I know. But when I was in Vegas in an elevator, I was with my wallet on chain, and there was this woman in the elevator with me. I think it was I don't know which hotel it was. Anyway, she was looking at my wallet on chain. She's like, "Can I have it? Can you sell it to me?" Planet Hollywood. I was like, "No." Like, what a weird thing.
I had again similar thing in the elevator. Like as I'm leaving the elevator, this one girl is walking in, and she's like, "Oh my god, I love it. Where did you get it?" And I'm like, "Oh, I'm from Toronto. Like I got it there." She's like, "If you ever decide to sell it, could you please like?" And as the elevator door is closing, and my husband's like, "Follow her on YouTube." And I'm here like, "No, I'm not selling." And my husband just hops in. She's a YouTuber. You should follow her.
Oh my god. So basically, he's your biggest fan.
Oh, he is. Yeah.
Oh,
When
that's
I
so
started, I was
sweet.
very reluctant, and he's like, because I was afraid of like, you know, too many people finding like my channel.
Yeah.
And he's like, who cares, right? Like, and then when, I started really enjoying it and, making friends, like, especially like during the pandemic, right? Like it's really hard. And he was amazed, and I was amazed at how many, it's so funny because everybody has these like cute little pet names on Instagram. They have a separate like, Instagram account for being luxury fans. And all of these people are professionals. They're like, people in like the medical field, people who are in
Yeah.
law, people in husbands, and this is their like, thing. It's their fun, right? And you're interacting with all these people, and you're like, wow, like I'm not the only one. Like everybody loves this thing, right? And
Yeah.
yeah, so I would tell him, and he's like, see, like this is like your thing, like so it's nice. Yeah.
No, it is nice. It's comforting in a way. I always say it's like it's my Disneyland.
Yeah, and like
I'm not,
your games
yeah.
are great. I mean, I don't know at what point you started doing these live streams, but like sometimes like on Saturday I'll just have it playing in the background.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
yeah. And like if I'm getting ready, like if we're going out somewhere, I'll have it playing, or I'll bring like the iPad into like the bathroom where I'm doing my makeup and I'm listening. And I really like that because sometimes like Saturdays can be boring, like you don't have anywhere to go, right? Or you're by yourself, but you don't feel alone, right? Because you feel like you're chatting with somebody and there's the co-chatters, and and it goes on forever. Like I don't know how you do it, but and it's fun to watch, right? So it's like one of those like live call-in radio shows, but there's video to it, right? So it's nice.
Yeah, yeah. But I mean, it started because obviously, sure, lockdown and isolation, but also I felt like my community was lonely. Of course, I was lonely, but I
Mm-hmm.
mean, I felt like, I felt like the happiness on a Saturday,
Yeah.
gathering all people together. Like you said, on Saturday, lockdown, not having anything to do. A lot of people are alone. And I was like, well, let's, or let me do something that enables people to not feel alone
Yeah.
and also to talk about the most futile thing in the world, which is luxury.
Yeah.
And I mean, and perfumes. I mean, to me, perfumes are life, by the way. They make
Mm-hmm.
me so happy. But to talk about all of this on a Saturday and to have wonderful chats and conversations, I
Yeah.
was like, well, there you go. So easy. Now we're not alone anymore.
And I'm sure
It's,
people in the co-chatters amongst themselves have found friends, right?
yeah, yes,
So, and it's nice because you have something to look forward to. Like, oh, like even though you might not see each other face to face, but you recognize names and like, oh, so and so is going to be there tonight. Like, so you
yeah,
feel like you're with people, but you might be by yourself. Like some people have young children and they can't easily get out of the house, or they might have a spouse who works like a night shift, and on Saturdays they're by themselves. And Saturday, it's just that feeling, even though schedule might be different, Saturday feeling or that Friday feeling. I don't know what it is. It's maybe programmed into us to feel as though we should be, relaxing, right?
Yeah. And
And
that's why I'm here. I'm the one who suffers. But I want you to relax because, I'm
yeah,
like, oh gosh, this stupid chair I'm sitting on, like on my back and this and that. But I love it. It gives me energy to see people happy,
yeah,
interacting in the chats. We learn from each other. And this is also why I added that extra layer now with Discord, for all the members and patrons, they can all join Discord. So now you get a safe space
mm-hmm.
the entire week to chat. And it's amazing on Discord. Oh
Oh,
my
I didn't
God.
know that. I didn't know that you have that.
Really?
Discord. I thought you can only chat while the live stream is going on.
Yes, that's during the live stream. But then the
Yeah.
whole week you got Discord, which is a whole other app, and all
Oh,
members and patrons can join. Oh my God, Jocelyn, it's amazing. Like, I'm not gonna mention names because it's all private stuff, but like
yeah,
one
yeah.
of our members
Mm-hmm.
went to Coco Chanel's grave in Switzerland and took photos for us.
Oh my
And
God.
on Discord, yes. And yes. And I mean, I had tears in my eyes because they change flowers constantly at the grave, and I'm like,
Oh,
oh, got goosebumps just thinking about it. The photos
yeah,
of the grave from every angle. Oh my gosh, amazing.
yeah.
Then there's unboxings, the community shares, but it's a safe environment because
Mm.
you can only partake if you are a member and patron. So it's not just
Mm-hmm.
random trolls coming in.
Yeah, yeah.
It's safe. It's a
That's good.
safe bubble where the Fashion Bunker community can talk about everything the whole
Mm-hmm.
week.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Good
It's
to know.
really, really, really lovely. Wonderful, wonderful stuff and photos and it's really cool. It's really cool. And I'm working on now doing level tier 3
Yeah, yeah.
soon, where I will be also like the tier 3 will also have a phone call. Like we're going to have a whole group call once a week where we all can call because it works a little bit like a Zoom call. Like
Yeah.
anybody can join in. So if you start one live call, everybody can call in and it can be like without video, just audio, just talking, spending some time together. That's going to be a new feature coming soon.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's good. It's wonderful. And it's also interesting for me because I've been looking in how's it going. People are willing to share much more in a safer environment.
Mm.
So there's like really, really interesting stuff going on that you might not get a chance to say in the chats here on a Saturday,
Right.
but then you get to do it, with more chill time throughout the week. So it
Yeah.
was a great idea. At the beginning, I was like, Discord might be a little bit difficult, but it looks really, really beautiful.
And this is why I think, because people always talk about like the members channels, right, where you can create like a membership, and I think it's not really so much the money. I think it's because you can weed out trolls, right? Like
Yes.
it
Yeah.
becomes a safe space. So
Yes.
that's what I see, and even for people to post content, right? Like I know some people became a little bit controversial for all of a sudden having like a members only channel or a sector part of their YouTube channel. But I think, sometimes you might want to share content that you don't want everybody to see, right? Like,
Right.
I'm talking that includes trolls or, opportunists, all that. And you want to share that content with people that are a little bit more trustworthy
Oh, of
screen-wise.
course. Of course. It's
Yeah.
also a different topic. I mean, every Saturday I do the 1 hour pre-show just for members and patrons.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
It's a
Yeah.
different conversation. It's much more intimate.
Yeah.
And yeah, of course, of course. It enables a deeper conversation,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
and it has to be protected space, of course.
Yeah.
You know. Justine, oh my God, we're at 1 hour and 30 minutes.
Oh my God.
Oh, this was so cool. Time just flew.
It just flew
Did
by.
you have fun? This was your first live stream on camera.
Yeah, and my cheeks hurt because, like, when you're working, you're talking all day,
Mhm.
and we got masks on, right? So,
Oh,
I mean,
gosh, you
masks are
still have
coming
to-
off, but when I'm working, I still wear masks, and we've been wearing for a while now. And when you're talking to people, you really want them to understand that you're smiling. So my cheeks are, and I'm like,
Oh my God, you got to do this all the time.
Yeah.
Wow.
And like this pandemic has aged me terribly because I'm starting to notice fine lines from the windscreen.
Well, first of all, at least here for us on
Yeah.
camera, you look flawless.
Thank you.
Honey, the hair is wavy.
It's the low resolution
top.
camera of the laptop.
Honey, immaculate. The top is immaculate. The hair. The
I
opulence.
curled it. I curled it today. It's kind of coming down, but I curled it today. I use this new cordless curling iron that I'm excited about. So I was like, doing it.
It looks amazing.
Yeah. Thank you.
Do you have hairspray?
I didn't use hairspray because I was on the go, right? So
It just stayed like that on its own?
yeah.
Wow.
I mean, this is kind of like coming undone now, but
Yeah, but that's
yeah, I didn't
the whole
spray
day?
it. I think if I actually like pinned, because usually when I do curl hair, I'll pin each curl, let them
Yeah.
set, and then I'll take it down, right? So then it's
Yeah.
really lasts. But this, I just kind of did it, and I was very impressed, and I was like, this is great for on the go, right? When I'm
It's
lazy.
amazing.
Yeah.
And without any hairspray, like my hair would have been like flat in a minute.
Well, mine is
without
also
hairspray.
quite like bleached and fried, so it's very processed. So it
It looks
holds
really
curl a
good,
little
though.
bit better. Yeah.
Oh, it looks really, really nice. Man, Justine, I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for partaking in the live stream. I hope you've enjoyed it here in the Fashion Bunker.
Thank you. I
And
really enjoyed this myself.
and I hope you're gonna come back soon.
Yeah, let me know if there's any topics that you want Dacob and I to discuss.
Right?
We'd
Let us
be
know in the
happy.
comment section down below.
Yeah, what our thoughts are. What if we want us to throw any shade on anything? Let us know. We have the glasses now. So.
My specialty. But also be sure to subscribe to Justlene's YouTube channel, Therealshakeen, on YouTube. I will post the link to her channel in the description box down below underneath this video. And also follow her on Instagram. Also spell Therealshakeen. Are there any underscores
No, just
in
one
your
word.
name on Instagram? No, it's just Therealshakeen, all spelled together. And you can see the name actually is right under her, right there at the bottom. I put it for you guys there so you can see it also in the video. And let's do a little thumbnail moment
Sure.
without glasses now, just with real
Okay.
face.
Let me
Look straight into the camera, maybe. Like mugshot. I love it.
know. Mugshot?
Mm-hmm. Okay, now profile side. A little bit to the side, just a little bit. Yeah, like
Which way am
that.
I going? This way?
Yeah, but still look into the camera, but like, yeah, a little, yeah. Okay, now let's do like, peace sign, like cutesy, kawaii. Oh, wait, wait, where am I? Okay,
Do
I'm
I do the
here,
kissy
you're
face?
there. Huh? What?
Do I do the kissy face?
Yeah, kissy, kawaii face. Okay. And any other pose that we should do? No, I think we're good.
I think we're good.
Yeah, I think we're good.
Good.
Justine, thank you so much, sweetie. Yay!
I had fun.
Lots of love.
Thank you
Lots
to
of
all the
love to you.
co-chatters.
Yeah, the chat is sending hearts and love.
Oh.
Mugshots after robbing a Chanel store, says Alex. Thank you for visiting, says Andrea. Melissa says she is nice. Oh, that's so kind. You are cute, both of you. Please be mindful. Oh, wait. Oh, that's Audrey. This was great, says Belle. Yay! Okay, guys. Thank you so much. Justine, lots of love to you. And until
Thank
next time, you guys, never forget to never give up on love. Bye.